fourth quarter adjusted earnings coming in EPS of 89 cents, topping estimates there by a penny.
Yeah, and revenues for the year up to $48.8 billion. I mean, this is just such an incredible business. I marvel every year, every quarter when we look at this thing. Growing really fast, looking really quick. We're seeing 8% growth on a year-over-year basis. Yes, it's better than the analysts expected. More importantly, this is a business that was growing sort of low single digits a couple of years back. Now we've seen quarters of 9, 10, 8, and 8% year-over-year growth. Terrific success in theme parks. It looks like their television business also doing quite well. Of course, their cable networks business is the most profitable business that they have. That's really all about ESPN. So I'm going to go through and put some more of these numbers into my model, but fundamentally what we've got is a business that's growing and growing faster on a year-over-year basis, and it has been for a couple of years now. Bob Iger, you can see why they want to keep him as CEO, because he's just crushing it.
Yeah, really
Candy crushing
incredible.
It, maybe.
No, not look. It is a very diverse business. Eric Chemi here with me on set to talk a little bit more as we watch these numbers, and Cory, jump into the conversation as you get more information. But we're looking at the resorts business, for example, and it looks like operating income there was up 20%. And that's just sort of the tip of the iceberg here as we continue looking through this. Cable obviously being a huge revenue generator for them, with ESPN being the moneymaker.
Cable is the big revenue generator. We have seen, though, the number of people who are subscribing to cable, that keeps going down just by a little bit. So they have to keep raising prices in order to make that money back. It's one of those things for 5 to 7 years from now. Will they be able to raise prices enough to offset the people who won't be watching on cable, like we just saw with CBS? Their news network now is not on cable, it's on the internet. So that's where the future is going. ESPN is able to hold on to those people for the next few years.
You make an important point. Go ahead, Cory.
Yeah, I want to jump into so $1.8 billion for their studio business, a big gain there of 18%, and that's all about one thing: Frozen. Frozen, theatrical release of Frozen in the home entertainment, doing very, very well for them, and really helping propel these results with 18% year-over-year growth on the top line.
But did you have, by the way, do you have an Elsa for Halloween, Cory?
I in fact was Elsa for Halloween.
I had an Elsa for Halloween. I mean, incredible, just the merchandising revenue that's been driven off of this. They've sold 3 million princess dresses this year. Frozen, just an incredible hit for them. And I got to tell you, it's a really good movie.
Everybody likes it.
Well, you know,
but that's the thing about Frozen, though. It's like these video game companies, like when we talk about Zynga and King, they went public after one hit. You would never make a company like Frozen. You wouldn't say, we have this movie, it's one hit, we'll make a company out of it. But that's why Disney can be successful. They have a lot of hits as opposed to Zynga and King Digital, where they have one hit each.
I think this speaks to the success of Bob Iger and his ability to, you know, it's a creative product that was created by creative people, and creative people are often difficult to manage. And yet to do this on a consistent basis, to expand the business by acquiring Marvel and Star Wars, to have a very successful theme park business that uses the success of those things, the television characters of Phineas and Ferb that are doing so well in the children's television business, turning that into some theatrical stuff as well, with characters dressed as Phineas and Ferb marching around Disneyland. That shows you how they kind of make this whole machine work as one.
Yeah, it is such a diverse, incredible business, and in some ways a real advantage to have that diversity amongst all these different business lines, Cory, because, you know, advertising, for example, could be weak at any given time, and yet they've got so many other things to augment it, whether it be the merchandising, whether it be the film industry. It really helps to diversify risk.
Well, and their success at ESPN shows you that, you know, as Eric was talking about, the changing ways that people are consuming content, the way a lot of that's going online, the way a lot of it's going towards Netflix, the way it's going towards, the DVR, TiVo world. Sports doesn't do that. Sports doesn't really time shift very well. And so ESPN becomes even more important. Disney made a big decision to make some very big investments in ESPN over the course of the last year or so, and we can see those are paying off.